Well, I'm just about to hook up the battery to it and see if, stuff moves, like the top controls on and off, shit like that. Kind of not wanting to do this yet. I do got a bag with some cloths in it to kill the intake if I have to. I have a feeling I'm going to get my nice new jacket all full of freaking diesel fuel, because I have a feeling it's going to leak pretty damn good. Guess I'll have to kind of find out. And if anyone doesn't realize, that is the valve cover. The pistons go this way, so it's not up and down like that. It's a flat, kind of like a half boxer motor. Well, I do see some leak on top of the injector there, but nothing major. Try some preheat for a while. Auto control, leave that back on. I'll hear it click. There, okay, so turn it to the run position. Definitely one cylinder. Yeah, she runs for a bit, dies. It won't start back up for a few seconds. I did close that, mind you, so a little bit more preheat. So he does have a new one of these in the parts bin. So I might think that could be what he was thinking. Oh, she's running backwards. Stall, you bitch. See, she started to chooch backwards there. That was actually pretty sweet. I got no air filter on it, so it won't do any harm, but could maybe do harm to the generator head. So if that happens, I just gotta go shove a cloth on the exhaust and hope there's no exhaust leaks. So. It's turning over too slow, kind of, so. Nope, see, she just shut herself off again. But when it shuts it off, it still fires. Nope. Yeah. I do see some seepage happening right there. I know, again, this battery is weak, so I'm going to grab another battery. Because if you turn over a diesel with a weak battery, it can actually kick back, so. Well, I determined, even with my booster battery and everything here, definitely needed to pull apart that injector pump. With the key in the off position, where it technically, the fuel should be shut off. That's on, that's off, it doesn't matter. It'll run with the fuel shut off. So, no, that wouldn't matter. I see that it's hitting here. Not sure if that's showing up, but I'm pretty sure that's just as far as it's meant to go. Pull, yeah. Why am I getting water on me? It's coming from the door. Anyway, going to pull apart that injection pump. Take a look. So, because for some reason I have a feeling he doesn't have his throttle control hooked up. So, because yeah, no matter where I have it. Doesn't make a difference on how it runs. I know he did have that hooked up, or like when you remove that on a normal diesel, there's like a little pin that has to go in place. That little pin could be removed, which would kind of make sense. So preheat, which does work. Well, that's where I'm going to leave it for today. Okay, so pretty much no matter which position the throttle's in on the motor, it does the exact same thing. I played around with it a bit more off camera. The only thing I know that would really cause that is on the diesel you have your fuel pump and you have a little pin. Wherever the pin is what adjusts your fuel. Of course, you could turn it off, turn it on. And then there's a little pickle fork kind of thing that goes over top the pin that moves it. I'm guessing when he reinstalled his pump, he misaligned it. So right now when you move it, it's not catching the pin on the pump. Okay, so just going into this thing, not reading any instructions, and it looks like actually the fuel, I can't even see it on camera here. It actually looks like the little fork, I got flashlight on my camera here, it's good. But I can't even see if that's actually, it looks like it might be broken, the fork that goes to the fuel sending, or to the fuel pump itself. Just trying to see here. Yeah, not really going to be able to get that on camera, but No, not going to show up. Okay, so I got out the pump. That was kind of a bitch because the pickle fork, whatever you want to call it, that actually controls your feel here, your slider, it actually was shattered like I thought inside the engine. And look at that, you can see right there that they bent it. Unless it's meant to be on an angle like that, it very well could be, but it looks pretty gnarled up. So it almost looks like they must have had some pretty good force trying to hammer that in there. Bad thing is, the actual fork, which I'll show you from this angle first, this rod here, which goes up to your governor, which is just around the corner. Can't really see it there, but the governor is just behind that. But if I go down in here, you'll probably see what I mean about it right there. There, you can see at the very top of the screen that it is broken. Now the thing is, did they break it and did they remove the piece, or is the random chunk somewhere inside that engine, which I might see on the camera here? Probably not. So what I'm going to do is shove my magnet in there, try to get it out. There was a little spring on the rod, which I ended up dropping, but it popped out pretty easy right here. So just got this cover off. Oil actually looked pretty good. No shavings, no nothing. And yes, this is snapped. So you'll see a much better view of it right there. So you can see here, this is meant to be, it's actually meant to have a knob like this on this side sticking out. And they broke it when they were reinstalling it. Because the way it is on this motor, actually you would see a clip before this because I accidentally took a picture, or a 3-second video by an accident and somehow shut off the camera. But the metal could not go anywhere but in this cover the way it is. So the chunk of that did not get chewed through the oil. The oil is nice and clean. There's no metal shavings, no gear damage, nothing. So when they were putting in the pump, they broke that and they must have pulled out the chunk because it is not in this motor. And there's no way it could have got into the motor on that half. I already put it away for tonight. It's a little bit late. I still got to do a tire repair on my dad's truck after this. So yeah, I took a look, no chunks. Used even a magnet, nothing in there. So this one rod here, I already checked. It's just this piece here that has to be changed, which is right here is where it hooks to the governor, and this here is your throttle linkage here, so it is kind of spring loaded. So that piece, if I buy it in the city here, is $230. If I buy it, that's from the actual Kubota dealer, blah, 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 dealer. If I buy it from a Yamaha dealer, it's about $150. And if I buy it online, it's $85 plus shipping. So I'm going to be buying it from one of my suppliers online. This shim's in pretty bad shape. You can see it's kind of chewed up from what they did, but I'm probably going to measure it, buy a new one. Yes, it's very important to measure it because they have a 10, a 20, and a 30. And of course, there could be multiples in there. I'm probably just going to buy 3 10s so I can always layer it up if I need to. I'll be on, for our weather, we'd be using pretty much the thinnest one they make, which would be a 10. Now, the thing is, they broke this when they were reassembling it after they fixed it. Now, the question is, did they fix it, or did they break this before they fixed it? So, I know the injector pump, injection on the flywheel side, on the injector, I'm thinking is bad. I'm pretty sure it that injector was bad when I tested it. Not going to go into any of that right now. So I am still going to cut open that oil filter. So that I never cut open. I just unscrewed it, checked no chunks. Of course, I'm going to be buying a brand new oil filter. The gasket for this side here is still on the motor, which is buried there. I don't want to pull it back out. So I'm not too sure yet. Maybe I can get a glance of it here. Yeah, you can see right there. You can see what I mean, that there's no way for the oil or the metal chunks to actually get in there because there's only that little, in the middle of the screen right now, there's that little hole. That's for the oil passage. So, yeah, no way for the oil to get in there. So, that should be good. So, I'm going to order up this part. I'm going to order a battery, even though I technically have this battery right here, which I was using. Turned it over pretty good. Probably do that. Order that rod. Yeah, I know I could technically weld that if I really wanted to, but to be honest, I don't. So I'll just be ordering another one. This one here, the oil pump is actually right underneath that cover, so I was thinking maybe an inspection cover, but no, it's an oil pump. I've been doing a little bit of research on these ZB600 motors. They're actually some pretty sweet motors, so a lot of people make little turbo diesel motors out of them, so, well, add turbos to them, so. Going to be ordering a couple parts for it, and go from there. As for the air filter, I removed it because that's how dirty that filter is. So that's because the guy must have had it kick back, run backwards like it did to me. After that, I pretty much stopped playing around with it. So, yeah, that is it for today. Going to get some parts on order. Probably be a month or two before you see any more detail or any more videos on it, because where I'm ordering parts from, they always take over 30 days. And right here's the part I need. So mine is snapped right across here, and I'm sure of it, the old owner knew it broke. Okay, patches in my dad's tire, and yeah, would you believe that? Screwdriver bit. And the bad thing about this one is it was on a huge angle, so this whole thing is on a pretty decent angle. It was sticking out of the tire kind of like, let's say, like that, so it's hard to say, but yeah, that's not really the easiest one to patch, but I don't know. Hope it holds up. I'm just going to take a lighter. Well, I'm going to trim it off first and take a lighter and melt it down there, and we'll hope for the best. Fire! Fire! Yeah, these tires are shot. They're pretty much right at these wear marks here, but the other wear marks, already, there's those guys there, but right in between the tread here, yeah, they're pretty well worn out. There is some slime in these tires too, so if this doesn't really patch the best, I'm sure slime will be fine.